Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Brian Wilson's incredible life and legacy. Let's keep his music and memory alive together. Do you still remember the timeless melody of Two Faces Have I from 1963? Let's take a moment to honor the voice behind that unforgettable song. Two faces have I. Lou Christie was a celebrated American singer, songwriter, and teen idol, born on February 19, 1943, in Glen Willard, Pennsylvania. Known for his distinct falsetto and captivating stage presence, Christie rose to fame in the early 1960s as one of the most recognizable voices of his generation. His breakout hit, The Gypsy Cried, marked the beginning of a remarkable career, followed by the chart-topping Two Faces Have I, which climbed to number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1963. Christie reached the peak of his success in 1966 with the unforgettable Lightnin' Strikes, a song that not only showcased his signature vocal style, but also solidified his place in pop music history by reaching number 1 on the Billboard charts. His later hit, I'm Gonna Make You Mine in 1969, reaffirmed his status as a beloved figure in the world of bubblegum pop, alongside legends like Frankie Valli and Paul Anka. Beyond his remarkable voice, Christie was also a gifted songwriter, penning many of his biggest hits, often in collaboration with longtime partner Twyla Herbert. His talent extended beyond the recording studio as he toured with icons such as Diana Ross and the Supremes, captivating audiences across the nation. Tragically, Lou Christie passed away on June 18, 2025, at the age of 82 after a long illness. He spent his final days at home in Pittsburgh, surrounded by his loved ones. His wife, Francesca, and daughter Bianca carry forward his memory, while the world remembers him for his timeless music and remarkable contributions to pop culture. His distinctive sound and heartfelt songs continue to inspire generations of music lovers. Breaking news. Try not to gasp. When you learn what 79-year-old Cher has survived, her story will move you. We've all heard of Cher, but how much do you really know about the woman behind the glitter, the Grammys, and the gowns? She's a pop icon, a movie star, and a fashion trendsetter, but also a survivor of heartbreak, betrayal, and battles that nearly broke her. So, from 0 to 10, how much do you admire Cher's strength and career? Let us know in the comments. We want to hear from you. Born Sherilyn Sarkeesian in 1946 in El Centro, California, Cher's life was difficult from the very beginning. Her father, a troubled Armenian-American truck driver, struggled with addiction and was mostly absent. Her mother, Georgia Holt, a model and occasional actress, married multiple times, chasing both love and stability. For a time, Georgia couldn't care for young Cher and placed her in a Catholic orphanage, visiting only through a window. That sense of abandonment would echo for years. Despite constant moves, poverty, and using rubber bands to hold her shoes together, Cher dreamed big. By 5th grade, she was writing and performing her own plays. She stood out, not always in a good way. Her deep voice and bold personality often made her feel like an outsider, but she never lost sight of her dream, to become a star. At 16, she dropped out of high school and struck out on her own in Los Angeles. There, she met 27-year-old Sonny Bono, an aspiring musician working for legendary producer Phil Spector. Their connection was immediate. He offered her a place to stay. She cooked and cleaned in exchange for shelter. And eventually, the two became lovers and collaborators. Soon, Cher was singing backup on hits like Be My Baby and You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin'. Her first solo single flopped, but with Sonny's encouragement, the two rebranded as Sonny and Cher. In 1965, their song I Got You Babe skyrocketed to #1, toppling the Beatles in the UK and turning them into household names. Their signature look, bell-bottoms, vests, straight black hair, set trends. Their debut album sold like crazy. They even starred in films and toured nationally. By the late 60s, they were America's rock and roll sweethearts. But beneath the smiles, trouble was brewing. Cher was afraid to perform alone and relied heavily on Sonny. Behind the scenes, he controlled nearly everything: the money, the music, the contracts. By the early 1970s, Cher was a star, but she didn't feel like she owned any part of her success. Sonny, she later revealed, had made her an employee of Cher Enterprises, a company he controlled. She earned a modest salary, while he held the purse strings. In 1974, she'd had enough. She filed for divorce, citing involuntary servitude. What shocked her fans even more was the admission that Sonny's controlling behavior made her feel like a hostage in her own life. One night, she stood on a hotel balcony, contemplating suicide. It wasn't the first time. I was dizzy with loneliness, she later said, but thoughts of her child Chaz and her fans pulled her back. That divorce cost her dearly. She left the marriage nearly penniless and in deep debt. But with the help of her then-partner David Geffen, she broke free. She launched her own TV variety show, Cher, which showcased her comedic chops, bold fashion, and star power. It was a hit. Meanwhile, Sonny's solo TV show failed after just 13 weeks. While rebuilding her solo music career, Cher suffered more blows. Albums like Stars and Bittersweet White Light flopped. Critics didn't take her seriously, but she didn't stop. In 1979, she scored a hit with the disco anthem, Take Me Home. And in the 1980s, she set her sights on Hollywood. Cher silenced her doubters by landing dramatic roles in Silkwood, Mask, and Moonstruck, the latter earning her an Oscar for Best Actress in 1988. Not bad for someone the industry once mocked as just a singer with costumes. Her personal life, though, remained rocky. Just 4 days after divorcing Sonny, she married rocker Greg Allman. But just 9 days later, she filed for divorce, citing his heroin and alcohol abuse. They reconciled briefly, long enough to have a son, Elijah Blue Allman, but ultimately split for good in 1979. Cher later opened up about Greg's erratic behavior. In one heartbreaking moment, he had a paranoid breakdown and believed people with guns were outside their home. That, she said, was her breaking point. She had to choose her children's safety over love. Even as her stardom soared, Cher faced challenges as a mother. Her son Chaz Bono, born Chastity, came out as transgender in the late 2000s. Initially, Cher struggled with the transition, not because she lacked love, but because she feared losing the child she'd known. It's hard to lose one child and get a new one, she said candidly. Over time, she became a vocal advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, calling Chaz happy, healthy, and finally himself. Cher's resilience has become legendary. She battled the Epstein-Barr virus in the late 80s, which sidelined her career for 2 years. She missed major film roles. She battled critics who said she wasn't a real actress, a real rock star, or a real anything. She proved them wrong, again and again, and her bond with Sonny, however painful, never truly disappeared. After his death in a skiing accident in 1998, Cher flew home immediately to mourn. She delivered a tearful eulogy that surprised everyone, admitting that despite their bitter divorce, Sonny had been the man who saw something in her when no one else did. He made me believe I was special, she said. He transformed me. Today, at 79, Cher isn't slowing down. She's working on new music, preparing a memoir, Cher, the Memoir Part 1, and continuing to inspire fans of all ages. Her legacy isn't just about music or movies or daring fashion. It's about survival, about starting over, about knowing when to walk away from what no longer serves you, and daring to bet on yourself when no one else will. Now we want to hear from you. Which part of Cher's life moved you the most? Her struggles as a mother, her escape from Sonny's control, or her comeback that stunned everyone? Tell us in the comments. And if you admire her courage, leave a like to celebrate this living legend. Cher once said, "Until you're ready to look foolish, you'll never have the possibility of being great." And through every failure, every fall, she's proven. Greatness doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being real. Dun 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 dun. Few musical phrases have etched themselves into pop culture quite like the pulse-pounding theme of Mission Impossible. And behind that unforgettable sound was the genius of Lalo Schifrin. Lalo Schifrin was a prolific Argentinian composer, pianist, and conductor, born on June 21, 1932, in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Coming from a musically gifted family, with his father serving as concertmaster of the Buenos Aires Philharmonic, Shiffron displayed extraordinary talent from an early age. He studied classical music rigorously, but found his true calling blending genres, most notably jazz, orchestral music, and cinematic soundtracks. Shiffrin became a household name for his iconic work in film and television scoring. His most enduring legacy remains the thrilling theme for Mission Impossible, first introduced in 1966, instantly recognizable for its unique 5/4 rhythm and suspenseful energy. The piece became synonymous with espionage action and has been reimagined in every major film adaptation starring Tom Cruise, continuing to captivate generations. Beyond Mission Impossible, Shiffrin crafted unforgettable scores for films such as Dirty Harry, Bullet, Cool Hand Luke, and the Rush Hour series, earning him widespread acclaim alongside legendary composers like John Barry and Ennio Morricone. His collaborations with jazz greats including Dizzy Gillespie and Sarah Vaughan further showcased his versatility and love for musical innovation. Throughout his illustrious career, Shiffrin received 5 Grammy Awards, 6 Oscar nominations, and in 2018, an honorary Oscar celebrating his lifetime achievements. His work extended beyond film, conducting prestigious orchestras worldwide and composing the celebrated music for the historic Three Tenors performance at the 1990 FIFA World Cup. Lalo Schifrin passed away on June 26, 2025, at the age of 93 due to complications from pneumonia. He is survived by his wife Donna, sons William and Ryan, and daughter Frances. His remarkable body of work continues to inspire musicians and filmmakers globally, a lasting testament to his words. Mission accomplished. Do you remember which song starts with that sweet, unforgettable melody? Yes, you're not mistaken. It's the timeless love ballad Always, a song that has defined weddings, first dances, and romantic moments for decades. Behind that iconic tune was Wayne Lewis, the soulful voice, gifted songwriter, and founding member of the legendary R&B group Atlantic Starr. Born on April 13, 1957, in White Plains, New York, Wayne Lewis co-founded Atlantic Starr in 1976, alongside his brothers David and Jonathan Lewis. As the group's lead vocalist, keyboardist, and musical director, Wayne played a pivotal role in shaping the smooth, heartfelt sound that made Atlantic Starr one of the most beloved R&B groups of their era. His talent and vision brought to life some of the group's biggest hits, including Always, which soared to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1987, as well as fan favorites like Secret Lovers, Masterpiece, and Circles. Throughout the late 1970s and 1980s, Atlantic Starr captivated audiences with their rich harmonies and romantic ballads. Wayne Lewis's voice and musical leadership turned their songs into the soundtrack of countless love stories. Sadly, Wayne Lewis passed away on June 5, 2025, at the age of 68. His family confirmed that he collapsed while exercising and could not be revived despite medical efforts. His sudden passing has left the music world mourning the loss of an artist who poured his heart into every song. But his legacy lives on, through every lyric, every note, and every memory created by his music. What's your most unforgettable moment with an Atlantic Starr song? Share it with us as we celebrate the life and music of Wayne Lewis. Sly Stone was a groundbreaking American musician born on March 15, 1943, in Denton, Texas. Raised in California, he grew up in a musical family, performing gospel with his siblings from a young age. Known for his extraordinary creativity and fearless innovation, Sly became a pioneer of funk, soul, and psychedelic music, redefining popular music with his band, Sly and the Family Stone. Their iconic hits, including Dance to the Music, Everyday People, and Thank You, Laten me be myself again, captured the spirit of unity, diversity, and social change in the late 1960s and 1970s. Sly and the Family Stone broke barriers by featuring black and white musicians, men and women, performing together, a radical statement for its time. Their music became the soundtrack of a generation, blending soul, rock, gospel, and funk with messages of equality and hope. Despite his remarkable success, Sly's life was marked by personal struggles with addiction and health issues, which led to the band's eventual breakup in the mid-1970s. Though his later years were fraught with challenges, Sly's influence never faded. In 1993, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and his groundbreaking work continued to inspire countless artists across genres. His 2023 memoir, Thank You, Laten me be myself again, and the recent documentary Sly Lives reflect on both his genius and his battles. Sly Stone passed away peacefully on June 9, 2025, at the age of 82, surrounded by loved ones. His lasting legacy lives on through his revolutionary music, which continues to inspire generations and shape the sound of modern music. So, what are your thoughts on Sly Stone's extraordinary journey and his fearless impact on music history? How has his groundbreaking work and timeless songs influenced your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join us in honoring the incredible legacy of this music pioneer. Have you ever whispered the words, "Cry me a river," after a broken heart, perhaps without even realizing who penned those unforgettable lines? Behind that timeless torch song stood Arthur Hamilton, an Oscar-nominated American songwriter whose music has echoed across generations. Born Arthur Hamilton Stern on October 22, 1926, in Seattle, Washington, he grew up in a family immersed in music. His father, Jack Stern, was a respected songwriter and orchestrator for early Hollywood films, while his mother, Grace Hamilton, contributed as a lyricist. From an early age, Hamilton was surrounded by melodies, later channeling that foundation into a remarkable songwriting career. Hamilton's legacy was cemented with the sultry ballad "Cry Me a River," first recorded by his high school prom date, the legendary Julie London, in 1955. Her smoky, intimate version soared to the top of the charts, becoming a cultural staple reimagined by iconic voices such as Ella Fitzgerald, Joe Cocker, Barbra Streisand, Ray Charles, and Michael Bublé. The song's raw portrayal of heartbreak resonated worldwide, eventually earning a place in the National Recording Registry of the Library of Congress. Throughout his prolific career, Hamilton also gifted audiences with beloved classics like Sing a Rainbow, He Needs Me, and the Oscar-nominated Till Love Touches Your Life from the 1970 Western Madron. His work extended beyond pop music, earning Emmy nominations for compositions in television and influencing generations of songwriters and performers. Tragically, Arthur Hamilton passed away in June 2025 at the age of 98, leaving behind his wife Joyce, a daughter, and a legacy woven into the fabric of American music history. His timeless songs, filled with grace, heartache, and elegance, continue to remind the world of love's complexities and the simple, brilliant power of words set to music. Bobby Sherman was a beloved American singer and actor born on July 22, 1943, in Santa Monica, California. With his boyish good looks and gentle voice, Sherman rose to fame in the late 1960s as a teen idol, capturing the hearts of millions with his chart-topping hits and memorable television appearances. His breakout single Little Woman reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1969, followed by a string of successful songs including La La La, If I Had You, Easy Come, Easy Go, and Julie, Do You Love Me, each earning gold status and solidifying his place in pop music history. At the height of his fame, Sherman became a household name not only through music, but also as a star of the ABC series Here Come the Brides, where his charm and charisma made him a fixture on television screens across America. Known affectionately as Bubblegum Bobby, his face adorned posters, lunchboxes, and magazines, symbolizing the youthful optimism of an entire generation. As the music scene evolved, Sherman gracefully transitioned away from the spotlight, dedicating his later years to public service. He became a volunteer paramedic and served as a reserve officer for both the Los Angeles Police Department and the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, showing the same care and dedication off-stage as he did on stage. Tragically, Bobby Sherman passed away in June 2025 at the age of 81 after battling stage 4 kidney cancer. His wife, Brigitte, remembered him as brave, gentle, and full of light. His legacy lives on through his timeless music, his service to the community, and the countless fans whose lives he touched with his voice and his heart. If you still cherish the songs and memories Bobby Sherman gave us, don't forget to share this video on your personal page and subscribe to our channel to honor his legacy and keep his spirit alive. Mick Ralphs was a gifted British guitarist, songwriter, and founding member of two of the most iconic rock bands of the 1970s, Mott the Hoople and Bad Company. Born on March 31, 1944, in Stoke Lacey, Herefordshire, England, Ralphs discovered his love for music as a teenager, captivated by the raw energy of blues and rock. His versatile guitar style, ranging from powerful rock riffs to delicate acoustic melodies, would later become a signature sound of British classic rock. Ralphs first rose to fame with Mott the Hoople, the cult band that gained international recognition thanks to the David Bowie-penned anthem, All the Young Dudes, in 1972. But longing for more creative freedom, Ralphs parted ways with the group and soon co-founded Bad Company, alongside Paul Rodgers, Simon Kirke, and Boz Burell. What started as a casual songwriting project quickly evolved into a rock supergroup. Their debut album Bad Company, 1974, soared to number 1 on the Billboard charts, powered by Ralphs' iconic compositions like Can't Get Enough and Ready for Love. The follow-up album Straight Shooter, 1975, cemented their place in rock history with timeless hits like Feel Like Makin' Love and Good Lovin' Gone Bad, songs that continue to define classic rock radio to this day. Tragically, Ralphs suffered a severe stroke in 2016, following his final performance at London's O2 Arena. He spent the remaining years of his life in care, passing away on June 23, 2025, at the age of 81. His beloved bandmates, Paul Rodgers and Simon Kirke, remembered him not only as an exceptional musician, but as a dear friend, known for his humor, humility, and remarkable songwriting legacy. Mick Ralphs will be posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Bad Company in November 2025, a fitting tribute to a life dedicated to music. If his music ever touched your life, share this video on your page and subscribe to our channel to honor Mick Ralphs and keep his unforgettable legacy alive. Norman Hutchins was a beloved gospel singer, pastor, and inspirational voice whose music touched the hearts of millions. Born in Dover, Delaware, on November 15, 1962, Hutchins discovered his calling early, beginning to preach at just 8 years old and becoming an ordained minister by the age of 12. His life was rooted in faith, service, and the belief that music could uplift even the weariest soul. In 1992, Hutchins launched his solo music career with Sparrow Records and quickly rose to prominence as one of gospel's most inspiring voices. His powerful songs like Nobody But You, Battlefield, Emmanuel, and God's Got a Blessing became gospel staples, filling churches and concert halls with messages of hope and perseverance. His hit, Jesus I Love You, and the unforgettable spontaneous praise, Vol. 1, cemented his reputation as a passionate worship leader and gifted songwriter. Over the course of his career, Hutchins released 10 albums, with 7 charting on Billboard's Gospel Albums chart. He earned numerous accolades, including multiple Grammy, Dove, and Stellar Award nominations. Beyond music, he served as a pastor and the founder of Frontline Ministries in his hometown, while also holding leadership roles at the West Angeles Church of God in Christ in Los Angeles. Hutchins faced significant health challenges, including diabetes-related complications that led to temporary blindness and kidney failure. In 2014, his wife, Karen Hutchins, donated a kidney to save his life, a testament to their profound love and partnership. On June 5, 2025, Norman Hutchins passed away at his home in California at the age of 62 after a courageous battle with illness. His passing leaves a void in the gospel community, but his music, faith, and unwavering spirit continue to inspire generations. Remembered as a gospel giant and beacon of hope, Hutchins' life was a testament to resilience, love, and faith, and his songs will forever echo in the hearts of those who believe. Do you remember the pounding, electrifying rhythm of Join in the Chant, the industrial anthem that lit up dance floors and underground clubs from London to Detroit? That raw, relentless energy came from Douglas McCarthy, the commanding voice and founding member of British electronic pioneers Nitzer Ebb. Born and raised in Essex, England, Douglas McCarthy co-founded Nitzer Ebb in 1982 alongside David Gooday and Bon Harris. With their aggressive sound, powerful vocals, and hard-hitting beats, Nitzer Ebb quickly became a cornerstone of the electronic body music, EBM movement, blending the spirit of punk with the pulse of electronic dance music. McCarthy's distinct performance style, fierce, declarative, and unapologetically bold, helped Nitzer Ebb break through international scenes, influencing goth, techno, and alternative rock audiences alike. Their early hits like Warsaw Ghetto, Let Your Body Learn, and Join in the Chant became underground classics, with Join in the Chant later earning a spot in Rolling Stone's list of the 200 greatest dance songs of all time. Throughout their 4-decade career, Nitzer Ebb toured globally, collaborated with artists like Depeche Mode, and built a reputation for intense, high-energy performances. McCarthy also explored solo projects and partnerships, notably with techno producer Terence Fixmer. Tragically, Douglas McCarthy passed away on June 11, 2025, at the age of 58. His bandmates confirmed his passing, but have not disclosed the cause of death. His sudden departure leaves the electronic music world mourning the loss of a true innovator. But his legacy lives on, in every beat, every chant, and every memory ignited on dark, crowded dance floors worldwide. Did Nitzer Ebb's music shape your love for electronic music? Share your favorite memory of Douglas McCarthy and help us celebrate his remarkable life. Walter Scott Jr., born in Fort Worth, Texas in 1944, was a founding member and lead vocalist of the legendary R&B group, The Whispers. Alongside his identical twin brother, Wallace, Scotty Scott, Walter helped shape the smooth, soulful sound that defined the group for over 6 decades. The Whispers began in 1963 during their high school years in Los Angeles, later becoming one of the most enduring vocal groups in R&B history. Known for his rich baritone and polished stage presence, Walter lent his voice to timeless hits like And the Beat Goes On, Rock Steady, It's a Love Thing, and Lady. The group's signature harmonies and romantic ballads resonated across generations, earning them 15 top 10 singles on the Billboard R&B chart, 5 gold albums, 2 platinum albums, and a Grammy nomination for Rock Steady in 1987. Their contributions were honored with an induction into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame in 2003. Walter's career was briefly interrupted when he was drafted to serve in the Vietnam War, but he returned to the group in 1969 just as their debut album, Planets of Life, was released. Over the decades, the Whispers remained a fixture in the R&B landscape, known for their graceful performances and enduring appeal. On June 27, 2025, Walter Scott Jr. passed away at the age of 81 following a 6-month battle with cancer. He died peacefully in Northridge, California, surrounded by family. His passing marked the end of an era, as he was one half of one of R&B's most iconic vocal duos. Walter is survived by his wife Jan, 2 sons, 3 grandchildren, and his twin brother Wallace, now the last surviving founding member of the Whispers. His legacy lives on through every note sung and every soul touched by his voice. John Reid, the soulful voice behind the iconic dance anthem Push the Feeling On and founder of Nightcrawlers, has passed away suddenly at the age of 61. The Glasgow-born DJ, vocalist, and songwriter left an indelible mark on 1990s house music with a track that became a global club staple and later found new life through countless remixes and samples. Originally released in 1992, Push the Feeling On gained worldwide recognition after a 1995 remix by Mark Kinchin, MK, propelling Nightcrawlers into international charts and dance floors. The track remains a defining piece of UK house history, sampled notably by Pitbull in 2009's Hotel Room Service. Beyond his own recordings, Reid was a gifted songwriter whose work spanned genres and generations. He co-wrote hits for Tina Turner, When the Heartache Is Over, Westlife, Unbreakable, and the chart-topping ballad A Moment Like This, performed by Kelly Clarkson and Leona Lewis. Former fiancée Mary Kiani remembered him as a creative force and a man of passion, sharing personal memories of their time together in the music world. His sudden loss leaves a void in the global dance community and in the hearts of fans who continue to move to the beat he helped create. John Reid's voice and songwriting live on, timeless, unshakable, and still pushing the feeling on. Rest easy, John Reid. Patrick Walden, born in London in 1979, was a British guitarist best known for his role in the indie rock band Baby Shambles, fronted by Pete Doherty. Walden joined the group in the early 2000s after Doherty's departure from the Libertines, becoming a key creative force behind their raw and chaotic sound. As lead guitarist, Walden contributed to Baby Shambles' debut album, Down in Albion, 2005, co-writing standout tracks such as Fuck Forever, Kilimanjaro, and Albion. The album, despite mixed critical reception, reached number 10 on the UK charts and became a cult favorite among fans of the UK indie scene. Fuck Forever would go on to become the band's biggest single, peaking at number 4 on the UK singles chart. However, Walden's time with the band was short-lived. His personal challenges, including health struggles and legal issues, notably an assault charge that was later dropped, led to his departure in 2005. Although he occasionally returned for live performances, he never officially rejoined Baby Shambles. On June 21, 2025, Patrick Walden was confirmed to have died at the age of 46. No cause of death was given. His former bandmates expressed deep sadness, remembering him as a talented musician who left a lasting imprint on the group's early sound. Walden's distinctive guitar work and contributions to a pivotal moment in British rock continue to be remembered by fans and peers alike as part of a turbulent but unforgettable chapter in modern music history. Colin Jerwood, the fierce and uncompromising voice behind British anarcho-punk band Conflict, was more than just a frontman. He was a movement. From the band's inception in South London in 1981, Jerwood led Conflict with unflinching political conviction, channeling punk energy into calls for animal rights, anti-fascism, and anti-war activism. Their early releases, including the 1982 EP The House That Man Built, helped define the anarcho-punk era, while their own label, Mortar Hate Records, became a hub for like-minded artists and resistance. Conflict's raw, impassioned sound was more than noise. It was a call to action. Jerwood and his bandmates never shied from confrontation, famously printing the names of vivisectionists in record sleeves or defying police at gigs like 1987's infamous gathering of the 5,000 in Brixton, which ended in a riot and a state-level ban. Through it all, Colin remained fiercely principled, often saying, "You never wanted leaders, but you treated us as such." Colin passed away in June 2025 at age 63, following a brief illness. Just a month earlier, Conflict had released This Much Remains, proving the fire still burned strong. At the time of his passing, Colin had been working on a memoir reflecting on his life, his band, and the movement he helped inspire. His loss is deeply felt by the punk community and generations shaped by his music and message. Colin Jerwood didn't just sing about rebellion, he lived it, leaving behind a legacy of integrity, defiance, and unrelenting truth. Charles Burell was a groundbreaking American double bassist, revered for breaking racial barriers in classical music and flourishing equally in jazz. Born on October 4, 1920, in Toledo, Ohio, and raised in Detroit, Burell found his musical calling early, mentored by members of the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. After serving in an all-black naval band during World War II, he joined the Denver Symphony Orchestra in 1949, becoming the first African-American musician hired full-time by a major U.S. orchestra, a milestone that earned him the nickname the Jackie Robinson of classical music. Burell also enjoyed a rich career in jazz, performing with legends such as Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, and Charlie Parker, often at Denver's iconic Rossonian Lounge in the Five Points neighborhood. He later joined the San Francisco Symphony in 1959 before returning to Denver, where he remained a pillar of the music scene until retiring in 1999 at age 79. His passing on June 17, 2025, at the remarkable age of 104, marks a profoundly sorrowful moment for the world of music. Tributes have poured in from across generations, mourning the loss of a man whose artistry and courage redefined what was possible for musicians of color. Honored by the Colorado Music Hall of Fame and the Martin Luther King Jr. Humanitarian Award, Burell's enduring legacy lives on through every note, every student he inspired, and every barrier he helped to break. His absence leaves a deep void, but his music and the dignity with which he lived will never be forgotten. Breaking news. Try not to gasp when you learn what 80-year-old Glattis Knight has survived. Glattis Knight, the beloved Empress of Soul, is no stranger to the highs and lows of a life spent in the spotlight. For over 6 decades, she has been a cornerstone of American music, her voice a comforting echo through generations. But behind the music lies a woman who has fought through heartbreak, addiction, and more recently, a health scare that shook her fans to their core. Today we take a reflective look at the extraordinary life of Glattis Knight. But before we begin, how do you feel about Glattis? On a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate her legacy in music and beyond? Let us know in the comments below. Your memories are part of her legacy too. But let's take a step back. Born on May 28, 1944 in Atlanta, Georgia, Glattis Maria Knight first won hearts when she was just 8 years old on Ted Mack's original Amateur Hour. But fate truly intervened at a family birthday party in 1952, when a broken record player sparked an impromptu performance with her siblings and cousins. Thus, Glattis Knight and the Pips were born. With her brother Bubba and cousins William Guest and Edward Patton, the group would soon move from local stages to national acclaim. By the 1960s and 70s, their songs, like I Heard It Through the Grapevine, If I Were Your Woman, and especially Midnight Train to Georgia, were not just hits. They were lifelines for those navigating love, loss, and resilience. But behind the glittering charts and Grammys, Glattis's real life was a story far more complex. Glattis's rise to fame was paralleled by emotional turbulence. She married at 16 and became a mother young. Her first husband, James Newman, battled drug addiction and left the family when she was just 20. Still, their marriage lingered for years before it ended. Her second marriage, to Barry Hankerson, brought her another son, but also years of legal battles and heartache. Even her third marriage to famed motivational speaker Les Brown, which many thought would last, dissolved in time. And while the world celebrated her voice, Glattis faced a private demon: compulsive gambling. For a decade, she struggled silently, once losing $660,000 in a single night. It wasn't until she turned to Gamblers Anonymous that she began to heal. These experiences didn't weaken her. They forged a deeper artistry in her music and a compassion in her life's work. The collapse that stopped the music. Everything seemed to be going as planned on the evening of March 8, 2025. Fans packed the Florida Theater, buzzing with anticipation to see their icon take the stage. But as the clock ticked closer to showtime, an unexpected silence fell backstage. Glattis Knight had collapsed. She had fallen ill suddenly, so quickly that not even her closest staff saw it coming. The show was canceled with little warning. Medical staff rushed to her side, and she was hospitalized before the audience even knew something was wrong. Was it serious? Could it be something more than the flu? For hours, no one knew. Social media lit up with prayers, worry, and speculation. For her millions of fans, it was a terrifying moment. Was this the end of the music? But in true Glattis fashion, she emerged with a smile. Already feeling much better, she posted on Instagram, explaining it was that flu that's going around. The relief was palpable. It wasn't just about her health. It was about her spirit. And once again, she had proven she could stare fear in the face and rise above it. Perhaps what saved her, again, wasn't just modern medicine. It was her faith. Over the years, Glattis's spiritual journey has evolved. Raised in the Baptist tradition, she later embraced Catholicism and eventually became a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. In 2005, she even formed her own Grammy-winning gospel choir, the Saints' Unified Voices. She's also found peace in her personal life. Married to William McDowell since 2001, the couple live in Fairview, North Carolina. Together, they've transformed a former high school into a community center. She's a grandmother of 17 and a great-grandmother of 10. And while her stage performances have slowed, her days are still full, with family, philanthropy, and faith. Even as the years pass, the accolades continue. 7 Grammy Awards, induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, performing the national anthem at Super Bowl lead, being named one of Rolling Stone's 100 greatest singers of all time, collaborating with legends like Stevie Wonder, Elton John, and Dionne Warwick. Glattis has done it all. Among her standout career moments, performing License to Kill for the 1989 James Bond film and her stirring tribute at Michael Jackson's funeral in 2009. These weren't just performances, they were emotional markers in the culture. Why her voice still matters. At 80, Glattis Knight may not chase stages anymore, but her voice still reaches across airwaves, comforting, lifting, healing. Her songs remain a refuge for those going through their own storms. Her recent health scare reminds us, even the strongest hearts can falter. But it also showed us something deeper, her ability to face darkness and return with light. It's easy to praise artists for their hits. Harder still is to honor them for their humanity. And that's where Glattis Knight shines brightest. We want to hear from you. What song by Glattis Knight takes you back in time? Have you ever seen her perform live? Do her lyrics remind you of someone you've loved or lost? Share your story in the comments below. This isn't just about a legend, it's about what her voice has meant to you. And if you found strength in her story today, give this article a like to honor the journey of a woman who gave the world so much more than music. Glattis Knight may be 80, but she's still writing her legacy, one soulful note at a time.